Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Minority Leader, the Honorable Marcelino, Libanan.
The Honorable Minority Leader, Marcelino, Libanan, is recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask if the distinguished sponsor would accept some interpellation, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, we are familiar with the Maharlika Highway. This highway is a long, very long highway which stretches from Luzon to Davao. How many kilometers is this highway, Mr. Speaker?
2,400 kilometers, Your Honor.
2,400 kilometers. Mr. Speaker, parts of this highway have 8 lanes in Luzon and in Mindanao, 6 lanes. Am I correct, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, you are correct.
And this is a highway which traverses from Manila to Davao. Am I correct, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker.
Are we aware that the portion of the highway which passes through Samar is in the worst condition, Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, yes, we are familiar with the actual condition of the national highways, particularly in the areas of Samar, Mr. Speaker.
And this is the highway where only a portion have 4 lanes, but most of it are 2 lanes, Mr. Speaker. Am I correct?
Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, yes, it's correct.
And this is the highway where people from Luzon passes through to Mindanao and vice versa, Mr. Speaker. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
To rehabilitate this highway, how much do we need, Mr. Speaker?
Because of the varying condition of each national highway, section of the national highway, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, right now I think the Department of Public Works and Highways had yet to come up with the programs of work of those dilapidated and poor condition section of our national highways. Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, ito po yung problema. Nagtataka po kami sa Samar. Bakit palaging nahuhuli na kami naman palagi ang dinadaanan? Ngayon, gagawa pa lang ng programa kung paano i-rehabilitate ito. At matagal na itong sirang-sira. Kawawa naman ang mga members of Congress dyan na sinisisi ng taong bayan. Pero actually, yung mga gumagawa ng programa, yun po ang dapat tuunan po ito ng pansin. Mr. Speaker, our Speaker is from this place. The Minority Leader is from this place. Nakakahiya. Anong kasalanan ng Samar? Mr. Speaker, I would not blame the Secretary. He is new to the office. And I know that he is a very hardworking, diligent, and brilliant Secretary of DPWH. Pero narinig ko, ang budget na kakailanganin, hindi nila masagot kaya baka mag-suggest na lang ako. Mga 9 billion. Sa ngayong taon po na darating, 2023, alam niyo po, waray-waray din ng ating presidente Kaya pag sirang-sira ito, anong sasabihin ng mga kababayan natin? Magkano po ang naka-allocate sa kalsadang ito?
For Samar, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, the total amount included in the HGAB of 2023 is 1,585,039,000. For 2023, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
More than, walang 10%? Or does it represent 10% of the total funds needed to rehabilitate this highway, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, if the total amount is 9 billion or almost 10 billion, then probably this is only about 10.5% of the total requirement, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. But I was informed, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, by the Secretary of Public Works and Highways that this portion of our national highways, the Daang Maharlika as a whole, they will recommend this for a total rehabilitation, and they wanted to access funding source from ODA or other funding windows, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Maraming salamat po sa sagot na yan. Can we expect the Department of Public Works and Highways that when we meet next year here and you will be asking for budget, this is included in the budget for the following year, 2024?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, this will be the priority of the Department of Public Works and Highways, this being the main trunk line of the Department of Public Works and Highways.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And for another matter, Mr. Speaker, I understand that NEDA has already approved the construction of the Matnog-Allen Bridge. Am I correct, Mr. Speaker?
Not yet, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. NIDA ICC has not yet acted on this proposal, Mr. Speaker.
It has not acted, but it was recommended for one of the major projects of our country, Mr. Speaker. Am I correct?
Well, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, it was recommended by the Department of Public Works and Highways to NIDA ICC. However, because of right now, it's undergoing review by NIDA ICC right now, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, napakalaking proyekto po ito na kung bibigyan ng pansin at bibigyan ng pagpapahalaga ng ating pamahalaan, ito po ay magiging napakalaking leap ng ating gobyerno. Isang malaking simbolo na tayo po ay naghahangad ng kaunlaran. Kaya naman po, Mr. Speaker, I would suggest that if possible, please include this also in the budget for 2024 na magkaroon tayo ng source of funding dito dahil yung feasibility ay pwedeng gawin ito at napakalaking advantage sa ating bansa, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, I being this representation coming from Mindanao, of course, I wanted that this bridge be constructed also, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. But again, the proposals of the Department of Public Works and Highways is still being reviewed by the NIDA ICC if the project is feasible, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
But the office supports this project, Mr. Speaker. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, this being recommended by the Department of Public Works and Highways, we totally support this project, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for their response of distinguished gentleman from Surigao. Maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat sa ating Department of Public Works and Highways. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.